I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, May the 19th, brought to you in part by Performance Livestock Analytics. Manage your feedlot operation anywhere, anytime with Performance Beef. The last sale at the last stockyards ever. You guys may get tired of hearing about this, but it's near and dear to my heart. The last river market, and you guys might say, hey, I got a stockyard right here. We're having sales every week. We got one coming up later this week. No, I'm talking about a real stockyard, a terminal river market where they sold droves and droves of fat cattle coming in off the train, droves and droves of hogs and sheep, trading them on the bricks with an exchange building and everything that goes with. The old terminal river market stockyards, real stockyard, the last one in existence that's still in operation, St. Joe, Missouri, where I spent the bulk of my adult life working in and around there, getting the markets and getting familiar with all the personalities and the people and the goings on that went around there. But St. Joe Stockyards, this is their last sale on Wednesday after 134 years. I'm going to give you one more session of a lot of that kind of stuff on our next visit, or maybe the end of the week visit after we go to this sale on Wednesday. But got a pretty good run, over 2,000 head, so they're not shutting down because they can't get cattle anymore. It's just you know, a culmination of things, trying to do business within the city limits of a city. And you know, we've got the runoff, we've got the smell, you've got you know, the water issues, everything that goes with, and then the fact that the property itself is worth more to do something else with than it is to keep it a stockyard. But you know, nobody's blaming Mark Service, the manager and owner there for many years and good friend of mine, for selling out. But that's the decision that's going to be made, and that's what's going to happen. So this is the last sale that they're going to be having. Now, they are going to be having a little bit of festivities going on. A lot of people are expected to show up. I can't wait to see a lot of them. My old friend Billy Simmons, that was a long-time St. Joe Stockyard regular there and bought cattle for years in Oklahoma City. He's been retired out in Arizona. He's going to be coming in, what I heard, and I'm looking forward to shaking his hand again, visiting with him, and just a lot of the buyers, a lot of the personalities around the stockyards that will be on hand on Wednesday for the sale. They are going to have several auctioneers come in. Like me, they want the opportunity to get a picture and just to experience selling at the last stockyard ever. And you know, I've been approved by Mark Service to come in and sell, but they got a whole lineup coming in there. They've got Greg Bose, longtime auctioneer there. He's still been an active auctioneer there, and tell you what, he's going to sell the first one and the last one, and he definitely deserves that and earns that honor. But on top of Greg Bose, going to come in, and Greg Clement, who is has been and is the voice of the St. Joe Stockyards, done all the radio ads for decades there, sold there for decades, a great auctioneer in his own right, and sells a lot of land auctions and things like that. Good friend of mine. He is the brother of the late Dell Clement, that also sold at St. Joe Stockyards at one time, sold up at Maryville late in his career. But those two guys are going to go. I'm going to get the opportunity to sell there for a while. And then we've got two world champion livestock auctioneers and two of the greatest world champion auctioneers that we've ever had. We've got Lanny Ireland coming in to sell. He has sold at St. Joe Stockyards over his career, and he's going to be in there to sell. Looking forward to seeing him. And then Russell Sleep from Bedford, Iowa, is a more recent world champion, and he's going to come down and sell too. So looking forward to him. And then Clay Toas is he's a recent auctioneer that's been helping Greg Bose. He's going to come in and sell too, and it's just going to be a lot of fun, and looking forward to doing that. And they've kind of been fighting over who was going to be the last guys to be able to have their cattle go through the ring, and I think the last I heard, it's going to be the Ruoff cattle going to come in there, and they sell loads of backgrounded yearling steers, and I think their load's going to be the last ones through the ring, but I'll tell you guys that later. Still some more talk about the meeting of truce that happened last week, and then we had the statement that come out, the joint statement from all the associations, and a lot of people on social media saying, well, I don't think anything's going to happen, or I'm not going to hold my breath or anything. That's not what we're looking for now, guys. You know, if you're a member or you're active in one of those associations, call in and encourage them. Tell them that's what you want to happen. You know, get more people to get in. If you're not a dues payer at one of these associations, get in there and get active. You know, you're just waiting for somebody else to do something all the time. But I tell you what, had a lot of positive feedback about that meeting. I think it's going to be, I think something is going to come out of it. And I think going forward, we can look at that meeting that was put together by LMA as kind of the first step in us really getting together as a cattle industry and trying to do something to save the industry in itself. Let's talk about your cattle board for Tuesday. Your June live cattle futures up $1.40 at 116.75. August up $1.30 at 119.72. Going out from there, and they were down just a quarter to up $1.12. So mostly big gains on your live cattle board. May feeder cattle down 72 cents at 137.20. August was down 82 at 151.92. Go on your back months on feeder cattle down 77 to up 40. The up 40 was the only one that was up, and it was all the way at your last traded month of April in 2022. Your grain markets have been kind of creeping back a little bit, but not the huge swings that we had seen over the last several weeks. But new crop December corn up 6 cents at 5.43 1/4. Your nearby spot is now July. It was up 5 3/4 cents a bushel at 6.58 1/4. November beans, that's new crop up 2 1/2 at 13.99 1/2. Your nearby July was up, or was actually down 13 1/4 at 15.74 1/4, and it looks like that could kind of squeeze back down towards your new crop a little bit. How about fat cattle trade? We saw some more moderate trade come in on Tuesday. It's amazing how these packers have convinced everybody that they don't need cattle at all, yet they've traded a pretty decent number on Monday and Tuesday. You guys tell me what that means. How about Iowa? 1,900 head confirmed on Tuesday, 121 live, 191 dressed. Nebraska, 3,400 head, 120 live, 191 dressed. And your market's kind of steady to a buck higher this week so far. Kansas, 3,700 head, kind of a split bag between 119 and 120. Texas, 3,500 head for them, 119 to mostly 120. Now your consolidated beef producers cash pool, they had sold some cattle at 119 on Monday, but they still come ahead with the cash pool, had a pretty good run, 617 head in your sealed bid cash pool, and they picked the best bid out was 189 FOB, or picked up dressed. So that's a pretty good bid, and that was better than the others that were offered, 120 live and 118.80 live. Colorado also had a few sales, 300 head confirmed at 120. Box beef cutout values, just they're back to soaring again. We haven't met any ceiling on it yet. We're expecting that to happen any time, but packers just keep cranking it up, and it's unbelievable how high they're getting them with Select now almost over $3 a pound. Choice cutouts on Tuesday afternoon, 323.34 up 317 for the day's session. Select now 299.05 on Select. When did you think that would ever happen? Up 216. And I saw some information come out. I haven't verified it, but talked to a friend of mine that has shared it, and he said it sure looked right to him. But you look back to correlation values, and if you took any statistics in college or something, I took it, I'm sure, if I was there every session or not, but a perfect correlation is 1.0. So from 2000 to 2015, your correlation between box beef cutout values and your fat cattle price was a 0.97. almost a perfect correlation between what your packers were getting paid for the product that they make and what your cattle feeders were getting paid for the product that they make by the packers. Since 2015, that correlation value has dropped to 0.12. Actually has nothing to do with one another. I mean, like the price of tea in China would have more to do with what your box beef cutout values are compared than your fat cattle price does. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're going to get something done about it. Your slaughter for the week, 235,000. That's 5,000 more than last week. 32,000 more than the same week a year ago. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DV auction late in the day on Tuesday at 132.93, off 24 cents, so off just a little bit there. But let's talk about your big high volume sales for Tuesday. Ozarks Regional Stockyard, West Plains, Missouri, 3,500 head there. And they sell a lot of calves this time of year. So a lot of those middleweight calves, and some of them could be short yearlings, $5 to $10 higher. But I tell you what, they had another one of those in-house videos, and Steve Anderson has got that thing cranking. I tell you what, he does such a good job with that. But he had a lot of cattle in there on the in-house video out of just east of Memphis, Tennessee, selling in West Plains, Missouri on the in-house video. The Wanderland Farms had 190 head of weaned black heifer calves in there, and sure looked to be the deal. 190 head of them weighed 465, bring 176.50 guys for immediate delivery. Big time quote on an in-house video from Ozarks Regional Stockyard. How about some stick out deals around the circuit? Knoxville, Iowa, managed by Brandon Fry there, owned out of Western and Oklahoma City there, but doing an awful good job. Catherine had 2 loads of steers in there, backgrounded steers, weighed 764 on the average, $147 on the average. How about Huron Continental Marketing out of Huron, South Dakota, 64 head, 883 pound steers weighing nearly 9 at $136. But the top quote that I saw anywhere on Tuesday, and your Zach Tran top quote for the day, come out of Unionville Livestock Market. Kurt and Heather Spore Leader there sold those Rockin' R steers in there. They had 2 loads of them, weighed 950 pounds at $135. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.